We're going to try something new this week. In light of Russia's invasion into Ukraine, let's look at some of the reactions from leaders across the Middle East and North Africa. And we'll begin in Turkey. As a NATO member, Turkey shares a maritime border with both Ukraine and Russia in the Black Sea. But Ankara and Moscow have been on opposing sides of recent conflicts in Syria and Libya, as well as Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Turkey also recently sold drones to Ukraine, despite strong appeals from Russia. Turkey's foreign ministry on Thursday said it considered Russia's military operation against Ukraine as unacceptable. Moving on to Israel, where Foreign Minister Yair Lapid on Thursday condemned Russia's aggression as a serious violation of international order. Israel is designated by the United States as a major non-NATO ally, can't afford not to align with Washington in the conflict. But it also has an important and delicate relationship with Russia. Israeli newspaper Haaretz reports that defense officials are worried that after its invasion of Ukraine, Russia will move to stop Israeli actions in Syria against Iranian-backed forces. For now, it's unclear whether Israel will join international sanctions against Moscow. In Egypt, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on Wednesday chaired an emergency cabinet meeting to discuss the impact of the conflict on Egypt. At the top of the agenda was the conflict's influence on wheat imports. Egypt is heavily reliant on wheat from both Russia and Ukraine. Nearly half of its imports last year came from Russia and about 30% from Ukraine. An Egyptian official confirmed the country has been stockpiling wheat in anticipation of a conflict. Other areas the cabinet discussed were oil prices and Egypt's all-important tourism sector. Russia sends the largest amount of tourists to Egypt every year, followed by Ukraine. In Iran, it's no surprise leaders are blaming the West for the invasion. Iran's foreign minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian said Thursday that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is rooted in NATO's provocations. At the same time, without directly naming Russia, Amir Abdullahian tweeted out that Iran does not see war as a solution to the conflict and called for a ceasefire. Tehran, of course, has close ties with Moscow that have strengthened in the past decade as it looks to bolster support for its nuclear program and growing regional influence. Last month, the Iranian president was in Moscow where he expressed a desire for closer ties and boosting bilateral trade from $3.5 billion up to at least $10 billion. Finally, in Syria, Foreign Minister Faisal Mekdad said the country supports Russian President Vladimir Putin. In a speech on Monday, Mekdad said that Western countries have invaded the world and supported terrorism for too long. Russia's military intervention helped turn the Syrian civil war that erupted in 2011 in Assad's favor, and Moscow still maintains military bases in Syria. On Thursday, an emergency cabinet meeting prompted the government to cut spending in an effort to brace for a sharp increase of oil and wheat prices, two commodities that Syria relies heavily on Russia for. That's your quick rundown of just some of the reactions from media leaders concerning the Russian invasion into Ukraine. As this story unfolds, we'll provide you more. Until next week, stay safe, everyone. I'm Joe Snell.